4, get my shoes and out the door. 5, I'm alive. 6, 7, 8, feeling great. 9, gonna shine, life is good. I'm doing fine. 10, gonna do it right and do it again, yeah. I look into the sky with all the beautiful color, but there's more than just for me, so gonna share it with another. I got to show, to give, let out. I want to sing and shout. Take a look and see a beautiful morning that turns into a beautiful evening, and together make a beautiful life. And if you wanna see, then come along with me. That's right.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us on Experience Michiana. I know you must be wondering, where did she get that fabulous hat? Well, you'll find out about it in just a minute, because we have a great show for you. We're going to go to Blue Moon Vintage and find out all about unique, one-of-a-kind items that you can get for your home. And today, we told you about it last week, we're gonna jazzercise. And I know Dave can't wait till you see him. But for now, let's head into Chef Bizarro Millinery and find out where you can get a hat just like this. Today we're in Michigan City with Amanda, who is also known as the Mad Hatter of Michigan City. And you might be thinking, well, what are we doing here? So we're going to find out all about Chef Bizarro Millinery. And I say that because it's just such a fabulous name. I love it. And people are probably thinking, okay, so where's the food?
Yeah.
Why are we here with the hats? Well, I thought, you know what, let's not get ahead of ourselves, right? Little pun there. But let's find out, because you were also, before doing hats, you were a pastry chef.
I was a pastry chef. I went to culinary school at Le Cordon Bleu in Austin, Texas, where I met my husband. And I loved hats. I was a food blogger. I had my own pastry company, and along the way, I just fell into the rhythm of making hats.
So how did you fall into it? Because I heard the story of one day you said, I want to buy a hat, and your husband said, make it. Are you still married?
Yeah, we're still married. So I think it was a top hat. It was super crazy, and it was $300. And my husband goes, I'm giving you $300 for something that looks like you can make it. Why don't you just try and make it? And he regrets those words. Because I became instantly addicted into making hats. I started off making small little fascinators and top hats out of cardboard and glue guns.
Wow.
And somehow I just realized I wasn't happy with it. And I went to the next step, and I found a milliner in Chicago who studied under the Royal Hatter for the Queen, Joy Scott Millinery. And she took me under her wing, and her parting words after my first lesson was, you have such unique perspective for hat making. Run with it. And I did, and I haven't stopped.
That is great, and it's just fabulous hats here. But I almost feel like it's a lost art, because you said milliner. I don't know, I've never really heard of that before. And so a lot of times people will just go to any store and just pick up any hat, but this is truly an art.
It is, and it used to be a little bit of a lost art, but I've been doing this like 13 to 15 years, and as it goes, not just because of the royal wedding, but just fashion in general, more people are becoming milliners. I actually just had someone come in, and she truly loved hats, and I gave her the right people to start, and now she's also a certified milliner in Michigan City. There's all sorts of hats that you can try on. It doesn't have to be over the top all the time. I love to just put a little fascinator on with jeans and a t-shirt, and I go from being meh to, oh my God, you're so dressed up. Like, there's magic in hats. It doesn't just give you confidence, but there's also just this mystery that helps perk up your outfit that people just are so in awe of.
That is so true. Now, we're here in Michigan City, but truly, your hats are all around the world. Tell us about some of the places where your hats are.
Yeah, there is a burlesque dancer in Russia who's like the Dita Von Teese of Russia. I've made hats for her and some of her performances. I've sent hats to South Korea. I've sent hats all over the world, all over the US. I've worked for Disney, I've worked for television. It's crazy, because when I started, I never thought that this would be such a thing. Like, I never dreamed I would have a brick and mortar.
Now, speaking of customers, so when somebody comes in, can they custom make, can you custom make a hat for them?
Oh yeah, all the time. I just had a lady come in, and she had an anniversary vow renewal, and she really loved this hat, but it didn't match her dress. So she brought her dress in, we went over the colors, we went over designs, I measured her hat, and I made a hat perfect for her day.
Now, speaking of making hats, how long does it take you to make one?
Well, that depends. It can be anywhere from 2 weeks to months. Some of the supplies, I have to get overseas because a lot of the millinery manufacturers for ribbons, straws, things like that are not in the US anymore. There are still suppliers, but sometimes I really want the newest material and I have to get it overseas, and that sometimes takes, a month to get back to me.
Now, we were talking earlier and you had mentioned you need to get ready for the Kentucky Derby because that's one of your biggest, events.
Yeah, that and Halloween. I usually start in January, December time, doing all my sketches, getting all the material ready, starting blocking the foundations for all the hats. And then that's usually when my clients start calling me. But now I have clients calling me in September already, sending me pictures of their dresses, asking me what my designs are going to be. I mean, they're ready to go.
That's great. Now, what if a lady comes in and says, I'm not sure what kind of a hat would look good on me? What do you also offer suggestions? Like, what do you think I would wear? And I have a big head, so this could be a challenge.
I always tell people it's the right hat at the right angle with the right attitude. If you come in and you say, I don't look good in hats, you're not going to look good in hats. It's like when you go and try on clothes at a clothing store and you're just not feeling it. Like no matter what you put on, does not look good.
Okay.
So what I like to do is I like to start off with smaller pieces, and I kind of gauge where the person's at, because it's funny, if you even just putting a headband on, you can see it in their face. Either they love it and it's perfect, or it's not enough, or it's too much. So I like to go super extra first.
Super extra. I love super extra.
Because if you go super extra first, then you can work your way down. So this is a headpiece I'm working on for Halloween.
Ooh. So it's for Halloween. Can I wear this somewhere?
And fairy core and cottage core is in now, so some people are wearing stuff like this every day.
What do you think?
I love it, and the color really highlights your hair and
Does
your
it?
eyes. Yeah.
What do you guys think? I should go on Facebook. Only if you like the way I look. Don't tell me it's like, girl, put that. No, okay.
So that one is
I want to see that. Do you have a mirror? Okay, I want to see a mirror. I want to see what it
Mirrors
looks like.
all over.
Oh, I do like that. I look like a fairy kind of,
Right?
Yeah, it's really cute.
And it's
I love
good.
the color.
And it works good with black, or it works good, with a neutral tone like the shirt you're wearing now.
I do like it very much. It's really cute.
So
now, I also see that you have hat classes here?
I do.
Oh my gosh.
So you can come in, we can do a workshop where you do a small little fascinator, or you could do Halloween, it could be themed, it could just be you have an event and you want to have fun with the girls. We actually have it in my husband's bakery, so you get pastries and tea while you do it.
Oh, nice.
And then the classes go up from there. Some people want to decorate bigger hats, some people want to actually learn. But I always tell people before they come to a hat making class that hat making requires so much upper body strength.
Does it?
It does. Because you're having to pull and mold the material onto the hat blocks, and it's a lot of steam and it's a lot of grunt work.
Wow.
I didn't think it was so labor intensive when I started off, but it is, and I got great arms now, plus lifting all my kids.
There you go.
Yeah.
Can we see a little what the process looks like?
Of course,
maybe?
yeah. So everything has a wooden hat block, and these are totally important to making hats. If you don't have a mold, it's a little bit more difficult. There are ways to figure it out. So there is a crown block, which is going to be your head, and then you have your brim block, which is, of course, the second part of the hat, if you're doing one. So since fall's coming up, I have a fur felt wool hood, or a cape line, and you get these like this already made. And what we do is we're gonna steam it until it's piping hot, and then with all the upper body strength you can muster, you pull it over the form until it shrinks on it. And then it's just a process. It could take anywhere, depending on the day and my arms, from an hour to 5 to get it perfect. Usually it's pretty quick, but there are days where it's just a struggle, or maybe the wool isn't as loose as you need it to be. It's like going to work. Like some days you get everything done, and then some days you just manage to turn the computer on.
Now everything seems to evolve all the time. How have hats evolved through time?
Well, the first part is we don't wear them as often, and that's just something we lost during the war.
I see what you're talking about.
So the more you pull and steam it up, the more it's going to form to shape. Now there are things called tippers that you can put in that will hold the shape in, but I usually just like to hand form it. So originally, we used to wear fedoras and cocktail hats or Juliet caps all the time. Now in fashion, you're seeing a lot of that come back, especially like the fedoras, surprisingly. You know, and it can be anywhere from very extravagant to very simple. And I find now the clients that come in, they don't just want something, you know, for a special event. They want every day. And you can do a fedora, you can do cloches like this right here, which are great for winter because they keep you nice and warm. And some people are even, you know, wanting to wear something with a little bit more flair every day.
Do you think we're coming back to that, where people just, you know, dressing is an art again, not just putting something on?
I think so, especially with the pandemic. I think people have realized that life is too short and they're gonna wear what they wanna wear and they're gonna live the life that makes them happy. Like a lot of people are quitting their jobs and following their passions. And I think that alone has inspired a lot of my new clients to come in and just say yes to getting a hat, which is a lot of fun.
And it, like I said before, it is really kind of like a signature piece. And I do feel when you wear something that special, it really does make you feel like, I'm that.
It does.
Okay, well, I got it going on.
The fact that you can come to a milliner, I mean, in Michigan City of all places, and get a hat custom made to fit your head. I mean, if you go into a regular retail store, one, you're lucky if you find one in the style you want, but two, it's probably going to be too small for your head, because while we've adjusted clothing sizes to fit, you know, the modern day man and woman, we've never adjusted hat sizes. So if you look at like 1920s hats, it's gonna be like a size 18, size 19 head size. When I started making hats 13, 15 years ago, the average head size was a 22, 22 and a half. And now it's a 24.
Really?
Yeah. And it has
so I'm not the only one.
No, and it has to do with our hair, it has to do with our diet, it has to do with all these things that you don't think would make an impact, but over time it does.
That is pretty incredible. I did not know that. I feel so much better because I said, I know my head is much bigger.
And usually it's just hair. Like for me, there are days where I can fit in my normal hats, and there are days where this is just a hot mess and I can't put any hat over it.
So you were showing us the process. How much longer do you think you'll be working on this piece?
This piece, probably another hour just to get it pulled down all the way. So right now, I've only pulled it down to the middle. I still have to work all this felt down to where it's towards the edge. So I'm getting my arm workout today.
Yes, you are. Now, can you look for another hat for me to try? One more hat to try on?
Of course.
And while you do that, I'm going to ask you, what are your hours here? What days are you open, and how can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, well, of course, they can always find me on social media or my website, chefbizzarro.com. That's 2 Z's, 1 R. Our hours right now are Wednesday through Sunday. Wednesday through Saturday, we're 12 to 4, and Sunday, we're 12 to 3. But I'm always available by appointment. And now I do a lot of my stuff online, and then they just come in for a quick head sizing, and then the rest I just send photos throughout the process.
Okay, all right. Okay, one more hat for me to try on.
One more hat. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go super Kentucky Derby.
Okay, I like that. I was in Ireland once, and I went to something like the Kentucky Derby. I could not believe the hats there.
Yeah. Just the fact that they never lost dressing up.
All right, how does it look? Oh, wow. I feel like I can walk down the red carpet here.
Yeah.
Wow, that is gorgeous. Your hats are fabulous.
Thank you.
And you are such a great person. It's such a pleasure meeting you today.
Such a pleasure having you guys
It really
here.
is. And you know, I'm going to just tip my hat to you.
Thank you.
As you can see, we're on a rescue farm. But here at Blue Moon Vintage Market, they rescue more than just animals. We featured them before in Three Oaks, Michigan, but they've now moved to Westville, Indiana. I can't wait to meet them. This is my first time. And when I tell you, you can't wait till you see this, it's like seeing a blue moon. Once in a lifetime. I am so excited to meet you too. It's like you're celebrities or something, vintage celebrities. But Vicki and Jen, my first time meeting you. We featured you before, but I'm so excited to be here. And this space is new.
This is new.
So you're
It's
here,
new.
what is it, about a year?
Not quite.
Not
Yeah.
quite.
We got occupancy January of this year. So
And it
this
is-
was our COVID project.
And it is beautiful. Can't wait to show all of you what's inside here.
Thank you.
You know, let's just start going in there because there's so much to see.
Okay.
Vicki and Jen, I have to say that coming in here and seeing everything, it's like this beautiful sensory for your eyes. And you don't know where to look and what to buy, but this caught my eye here. What is this? I mean, it looks like a door, but where did you get this?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
It's
So
a
we
fun story.
went on a buying trip down in Kentucky last week, and these are actually old Egyptian work doors.
Really?
Yeah, we brought them in. They were filthy dirty, so we took them out, pressure washed them, put a seal on them, and staged them.
Decor.
Right, and it's like I said, you don't just rescue animals here. I mean, you rescue pieces. Now, can someone come in here and leave with this today? Like me? Maybe.
Most things, yes.
Most
we get
things,
attached
yes.
to some of our pieces, so sometimes we get them in here. We like how they look so much that we kind of either say we
Right.
don't want to sell them yet, or we have to really want to part with them.
Right, I'm sure, especially when you find something like this, it is hard to part, but I can up the ante, okay? I can up the ante.
We would sell them to you if you
Oh,
like.
thank you so much. And this is beautiful. Now, everything is so unique. Where did you find this, and what was it before it became a table?
This is one of our favorite pieces.
It is.
Do you want to tell them?
So basically, it's a foundry mold. And
Okay, what's a foundry mold?
foundry molds are pieces of, we call it art, that are actually formed so that
Like templates.
templates. Factories
Oh.
can pour their metal in. This was probably like a grinder at one point, and then they would duplicate this and put one on top of it, and then fill it with metal, and then they would have a grinder. This came out of a crushing factory in Ohio, actually. But then when they're done, it's cast aside. They don't need this beautiful piece of art anymore. And we think that's just such a waste.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely.
We don't love what they make with these. We love these.
Right. So when you got it, what did you have to do to it?
Oh, we had to clean it. It was very dirty.
Sand a
grease,
little bit.
and yeah. So we
So-
pressure washed it. We sanded it. We put a couple coats of polyurethane seal on it, and then we had the glass ordered. And my dad is our handyman, so he inserted that, dropped it in to fit, and he fabricated the legs for us. So we decided to make it either an entertainment center or a bar that will have a new life and not be destroyed in a landfill somewhere.
Now, I know your dad and husband, he's not on camera, but he's like a one-man band. I mean, what doesn't he do? Because he actually built this. He actually built this place.
He did.
He
built
did.
it
This was our
for us.
COVID project when we were trying to reinvent our wheel mainly due to COVID and other circumstances that we wanted to relocate our business from Three Oaks, and we have lots of property and he's a builder, so this was our official COVID project. We helped with some of the work with the columns and the building itself, but yeah, he did the building for us and we moved our store here.
Great, and it's over 5,000 square feet, so let's go and find some other things to buy.
Okay.
I'm sure people come in and this catches their eye right away. I love this. Now, where did you find these?
Yeah, this was a fun story.
fun story.
It's a fun story. So we had found another chandelier from a woman up on the north side of Chicago. Her husband's an electrician, so he takes down these beautiful chandeliers and puts up newer lighting. And her passion is putting these all back together and saving them.
And cleaning
He's-
them.
And cleaning them,
Which is quite an art
a
in itself.
process.
But this is not your average chandelier. This
No.
is not IKEA or Lowe's, okay? I mean, this is something very special.
It is. And the first one that we had bought from her, we were like, this is so pretty. She's like, you have no idea what you've just bought. I'm like, I don't know, but it's really pretty. And we started looking into it, and she taught us a lot about chandeliers. So these are actually vintage Schoenbecks, and they're all Swarovski crystals. So they're all hand cut and very intricate and detailed.
Oh my goodness, when you were bringing it here, I'm sure you were probably so careful because you did not want to break one of those crystals.
Extra careful.
The most difficult part is just driving them through the city of Chicago in the back of the van without clinking or making sure that everything stays in place. So there's lots of bubble wrap and blankets and boxes and prayers.
No fast stops.
No bad stops.
And you also have beautiful chandeliers in the front, and those are actually they're international, right?
They are, yeah. Those are also Schoenbecks. They're older models, and one is from Italy and one's from Germany.
Oh, that's great.
We learned the history of them from our favorite lady.
Right.
that
See,
we
so
picked
if
these
you
from.
can't travel the world, you just come here to Blooming Vintage. There you go. You'll find something from everywhere.
That's right.
Let's take a look at some other things.
Okay.
Ladies, you are so creative. It seems like you can rescue something and make it into something really beautiful, but you encourage your customers to do that as well.
We absolutely do. We absolutely, and sometimes we get our best ideas from our customers.
Really?
We do. And so, a lot of creativity. And in fact, this piece here is also a foundry mold that we just think is a great arch. We had one similar to this that we had sold to a fella in Lansing, Michigan, that he used in his new restaurant. So we were thrilled to find a second piece. Now, some ideas we've gotten along the way is to put a top on this and make it an entryway table or sofa table, but to make it more practical in use. So,
Give it an actual purpose.
Oh, it's so hard to go around and show them everything, but tell us a few of the things that people, when they come here, that they can find.
Gosh, yeah, we have a lot of farm tables that are made from reclaimed wood, European decor. We have the tiki palm tree planters that we just purchased that are in the front. They're actually carved from tiki trees.
Oh,
That
really?
you can use as planters. Yeah, the chandeliers. We have an African connection now where he brings in baskets and mud cloths, which are right behind you there.
Yes, I saw it. I
yeah.
love the baskets in the front.
Aren't those great? And then we have jewelry as well that he's been bringing in.
And you even have some paintings. They were really beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. So we have a couple different artists that we feature. One is a friend of ours that is a retired iron worker in his, I guess, therapy. He was injured on the job, so his therapy is using oils and doing artwork.
Oh, wow.
And then we have a friend that does photography, like Truman, the dog that you saw.
Oh.
So that was his
That was,
rescue
yeah, I
dog.
love that one. Kelsey loves it too because Kelsey has a St.
That's
Bernard,
right.
so he really loves it. And behind us, what is this beautiful piece here?
Yeah, so the mirror we had just picked up down in Kentucky on our travels this week. And then the doors behind them are this is a big old barn door that we salvaged, and the two on the end are Egyptian work doors again that we just picked up in Kentucky.
Yeah. Great. Now, you all have quite a following. They can follow you on Facebook, and you're open, it's Friday through Sunday. And what are your hours?
We're 10 to 4 Central Time, technically by appointment. We have a one-lane road coming in and out of the property now that we're on our private horse farm, but they can text or call us as well.
Okay.
And we're available during the week too.
and then we'll send them our address so that they know where we're at.
They can find us.
And if they follow you on Facebook, they can actually go on and see some of the items that are coming in.
Yeah, we
Okay.
like to post kind of teasers on when we load the van, and people are like, how did you fit all that in the van? So we take pictures of our traveling and where we're at and what things look like as they're coming in and as we're pressure washing and cleaning. And we post them on our website too.
So I can go on there and say, hold that for me. I will be there on Sunday.
Yeah, we have that'll happen quite a bit.
All right. Well, ladies, thank you so much.
Yeah.
This has been so great. It's been such a pleasure to be here.
Yes.
I'm not telling you guys what to do, but I just want to say you better hurry on down here to Blue Moon Vintage. There's so many things to find, but you might only find it once in a blue moon. We're at the South Bend Racket Club, and today it's all about the jazz hands.
It's really not about that at all.
It really
I
is.
like jazz hands.
But we're here to find out all about jazzercise. And Dave, I just want to give you some props first, all right? I just want to give you some props because you've been on this, fitness journey, and you've been doing a great job.
I'm trying. And yeah, we did boxing, which was featured
Yes.
a while back. And now, I did ask, by the way, I said, okay, I want to do exercise as part of this. I want to experience exercise locally. So, jazzercise, which, by the way, I know nothing about jazzercise. So
Really?
nothing.
Well, this is Karen, and Karen,
Nice to meet you.
you're a jazzercise instructor, and it really has been around a long time.
We've been around over 50 years, and
Wow.
its roots are in dance, so it's fun. So it doesn't feel like a workout. It's fun.
And I can't dance. This is like, the only time in my life I danced as an adult was the first dance at my wedding, and I still have nightmares and PTSD from that moment.
Well,
because it was
you'll
terrible.
be interested to know that Judy Shepard Missett, our founder, was a dancer.
Okay.
And she found that she was teaching dance to kids, and all the people, the parents were in the background, and they said, we want to be and look like you, but we don't want to do all the formal training. So she kind of simplified dance routines, and to this day,
That's what jazzercise is.
jazzercise is still about that. We've evolved, of course, to meet, the fitness trends. We've incorporated some weights and bands and equipment to keep everyone challenged.
I'm
But
nervous.
it's a simplified,
yeah.
it's not professional dancing. It's for everybody and everybody.
Even my body.
Yes.
I love that you mentioned that because I think many of us kind of think it's not your mother's jazzercise as it was 50 years ago.
No, it has evolved. As a matter of fact, our founder's daughter is now the vice president, and one of our own instructors, Kim, who's going to teach you some routines, her daughter is now a jazzercise instructor. So what happens, we run the gamut
Yes.
from high school to people in their 80s coming. So it's not your mother's jazzercise. We've evolved.
So I want to ask, is this something that mostly women like, or is there men that do this too?
Men do it. Yeah,
Okay.
I would say the majority of our people are females, but we certainly have male customers. And you're welcome.
No, I
welcome,
no,
Dave.
I feel very welcome. I'm sweating and I haven't even started yet. No, this is lovely, and I do feel welcome, but I'm also nervous because I hate dancing. I mean, I don't hate dancing. I hate people seeing me dance.
Okay.
I
can go.
like dancing.
I was about to say, who
But-
doesn't
Well,
love
you
to
dance like in Jazzercise like no one's watching. And we have a great
Well, we
community.
have a camera here, though.
I forgot about that part.
All right.
Okay, well, you're not off the hook today,
No.
but if you come tomorrow, he won't be
Okay.
there.
He
There you
won't
go.
be, yeah.
Now, it is a lot of fun, but what are some of the other health benefits about Jazzercise?
Well, you burn a lot of calories.
There you go.
The mental health, and also we learn a lot of dance routines, so it challenges the mind to learn patterns, etc. Obviously, there's strength training portion. So I think the biggest thing about Jazzercise is a sense of community, and well-being and supportive and encouraging.
Yeah, because after the last class, we heard all the participants chatting with each other afterwards, and that's just as important as the
Yes,
exercise.
it is. So, Karen, when are the classes?
Well, we have classes 7 days a week, and you can go to jazzercise.com and search for Mishawaka and find our schedule. We have in-person classes in studio, and we also are live streaming. So there's 2 options, and we also have a global live stream. So there are plenty of options for people to take class.
All right, so we are ready to do this thing
Oh, we are?
today.
We
Yes,
are?
we are.
Okay,
yeah.
thank you for speaking on my behalf there. I'm so ready for this.
All
I
right.
can't wait for this.
Now, who's going to instruct us? Who's
Kim,
going to teach it?
right here. Kim is our instructor today.
Come on here, Kim. Oh, I love Kim already. You know why? Chassé, plie. I love that. You know what chassé is? All day. Gonna chassé and plie all day.
I actually didn't see the L at first, and I thought it just said pie, so that's where I was thinking about. But yeah.
And
right.
proof that Jazzercise
I
works.
just finished class, so
Yes.
you will.
You don't
get,
turn up this sweaty.
Yeah.
Yeah. She worked up a sweat already.
All right, well, we are ready, Kim.
All right.
Let's go. We hope you had as much fun as we did. Well, have a great weekend and be sure to join us next week as we experience Michiana together.
This WNIT local production has been made possible in part by viewers like you. Thank you.